Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sir Fajardo. We are students from BSIT 2A, and our chosen algorithm is the greedy algorithm. So, in this topic, we have chosen the money changing problem to visualize what is our chosen algorithm all about. So, these are the contents of our discussion. So we have the introduction, which will be providing what are the greedy algorithms all about, and then the discussion such as its application to the real world situations, the big annotation, its time complexity, and then the simulation. We have provided some clips to show how they are being used to real-life situations, and we have also provided a Java code for that. And as well as the assessment, we have provided test cases in order to prove the correctness of our chosen algorithm. So first is the introduction. So the greedy algorithm is or technique to build a complete solution by making a sequence of best selection steps. So the main idea here is choosing the best or the favorable choice at the moment. So ibig sabihin niya, hindi niya kina-consider kung ano yung paparating or the overall optimization. So kung ano lang yung pinaka-the best at the moment. Kaya nga siya tinawag na greedy algorithms kasi it has this greedy approach na mas kino-consider niya kung ano yung pinaka-maximal or the maximal value na kanyang pipiliin so that with hopes that choosing the local optimum would lead to the global optimum. So, the greedy strategy or the greedy approach, ito yung ginagamit na kung saan it proves where there is a choice to make, one of the optimal choice is the greedy choice or the greedy approach. Therefore, it's always safe to make the greedy choice. Show that but one of the all sub-problems with empty solutions, simplifying the overall process. So, yung greedy approach, ginagamit siya sa mga problems na mahirap i-solve so that it would generate to a approximate solution. So now let us discover kung asan siya ginagamit or yung mga applications niya sa real-life situations. So, greedy methods find applications in various areas such as sorting. Yung sorting na discuss natin ito way back sa mga discussions sa IT 221 na subject. So, sorting, which means piliin mo yung pinaka-maliit na element, diba, and move it to the beginning. Then, merging sorted lists, merge two shortest remaining arrays, and then the knapsack problem. So, itong knapsack problem, ito yung pinagmulan ng aming money changing problem. Kasi itong money changing problem is an instance of the knapsack problem. So, what is knapsack problem? So, ang knapsack problem is a classic optimization problem where you have a knapsack or bag with a maximum weight, capacity, and a set of items, each with a weight and a value associated with it. So, yung concept niya, may knapsack ka, may bag. Yung bag mo, maglalaman siya ng mga items or the values, kung sa numbers, items or values, while maximizing those subset of items, mini-maintain niya yung weight limit or capacity nung knapsack. So, ganun yung concept niya. So, the money changing problem is a specific instance of knapsack problem, yung sinabi ko kanina. So, what is money changing problem all about? So, ginagamit to siya sa mga cashiers or mga vending kung sa real life situations, di ba? Napaka-relevant nito sa ating magagamit natin. So, the knapsack capacity, which is the weight, corresponds to the target amount of money. So, yung knapsack capacity, yun yung target amount of money na ibibigay mo bilang sukli doon sa customer or sa specific person. And then, yung items, which is yung values or nagre-represent sa values, yun yung magiging bills or coins na ibibigay mo sa customer. And then, yung goal niya is to have the minimal weight or minimize the total weight or number of coins. So, to achieve that, gagamitan natin siya ng greedy approach. Diba yung greedy approach is choosing the best or the most favorable at the moment. So, sa concept na to, yung gagawin natin pipiliin natin yung mga bills and coins na may pinakamalaking value so that ang magiging resulta niya, kakaunti na lang yung mga coins and bills na may ibibigay mo. Kakaunti siya, pero malalaki yung mga value. Then, naka-reach din siya sa target amount of money, which is the knapsack capacity. So, ganun yung concept niya. So, the money changing problem is a simplified version of the knapsack problem, where the emphasis is on minimizing the number of coins needed to represent a given amount of money. So, next slide will be about more on money changing problem or other info about money changing problem.
Good day, sir. So, I will be giving more informations about money changing problem. So in a greedy algorithm for the money changing problem, the approach typically involves choosing the largest denomination, subtracting the value, and repeating the process. So the goal of money changing problem is to determine the minimum number of coins needed to make a given amount of change using specified denominations. So this ensures efficiency and accuracy in financial transaction by minimizing the number of coins used. So when it comes to the choosing the largest denominations, this approach minimizes the number of coins needed by first using the highest value coins. So this method not only simplifies the process but also makes it more manageable. It is instrumental in lowering complexity when dealing with more significant amounts of change. So next is subtracting the value. It helps maintain clear steps throughout the process, making it more straightforward to track progress. This is essential in preventing mistakes and ensuring that the correct amount of change is given. It also ensures that each subtraction step is precise. So next is repeating the process. So repeating the process until the remaining amount is 0 ensures that the entire change amount is covered comprehensively. This repetition guarantees that every part of the amount is complete with the change given. And following a repetitive method, the change-making process remains uniform and reliable. Next is problem definition. So given an amount and coin denomination, make change using the fewest coins. The objective is to achieve this with minimal effort and time, ensuring an efficient transaction process. So when it comes to the real-world application, an example here is vending machines. This ensures customers receive the correct change quickly, improving user experience and operational efficiency. Another one is the cash registers. It helps cashiers provide accurate change swiftly, reducing wait times and enhancing transaction accuracy. Next, we will be proceeding to the Java code for the money changing problem.
Good day, sir, and here I'm going to explain for the Java code for money changing problem. So I'm going to walk you through Java program that solve problem in computational finance. So this is the money changing problem. So this is program calculates the minimum number of coins needed to make change for a given amount of problem. So imagine you are at vending machine that only accept exact change. You have an assortment of coins in different denominations and you need to provide the exact amount for your purchase. So the question is, how can you do that using the fewest coins possible? So let's dive into the code. And first is we import two essential classes, which is the Java util arrays and Java util collections. So we know these classes provide us with methods to manipulate arrays and collections, which are crucial for our solution. So here we have public class name money changing, and inside this class we define our solution method, and the core of our program is the find mean coins method. It takes two parameters: an array of denominations, which represents the types of coins available, and an amount, which is the amount of money we need to make change for. So start by sorting the denominations here in descending order. This ensures that we always use the largest coins possible, reducing the total number of coins needed. Then in calculate, so here we start after that we then iterate through the sorted denominations. For each type of coin, we calculate how many of them can fit into the remaining amount. We update the total number of coins and the remaining amount accordingly. So finally here, so this is where the print out the coins use of total number of coins needed to make change. So it has 5, 10, 1, 5, 10, 25, and the amount is 63. And then certain denominations, the denominations are sorted in descending order. So what I've said earlier ensures the greedy approach. Taking largest possible coins first is followed. So that is the greedy. It finds the largest value or the largest amount, and then this in a find mean coins, the method iterates through the sorted denominations, and it calculates for each coin how many of that coin can be used, and then it subtracts the corresponding value from the total amount. It increments the count of total coins used. So when running the code, it will output the coins of used make change for 63 cents using the fewest coins possible based on the given denominations. So coins used to make change for 63 cents, so it has 2 coins of 25 cents, 1 coins for 10 cents, and 3 coins of 1 cent. Total coins is 6.
Good day, sir. So I will be talking about time complexity. So when it comes to sorting denominations, so imagine you have a pile of coins, but they are all mixed up. So the first thing we do is to sort them from largest to smallest. In this way, we can easily pick out the biggest coins when we need them. So sorting takes a bit of time, especially when you have lots of coins. The more coins you have, the longer it takes. So the process of arranging the coins has a time complexity of O and log n, where n is the number of coins. So after we sort our coins, next is iteration. So we go through them one by one, starting with the biggest coin, and see how many of each we need to reach our target amount. Going through the sorted coins is quick. It takes time proportional to the number of coins we have. which we'll call n. So this step has a time complexity of O n. Now, let's add up the time it takes for each steps. Even though going through the coins is fast, the sorting step is the one who takes the most time. So the overall time complexity of the greedy algorithm is O n log n. So when it comes to dynamic programming, it takes a slightly different approach. Instead of sorting coins, we create a table to keep track of the minimum coins needed for each amount up to our target amount. This means considering each denomination for every amount, which can take a bit more time. So with time complexity reason, we fill up the table by considering each denomination for every amount from 1 to our target amount A. For each denomination, we update the table based on previously computed results. So the time complexity of dynamic programming is O n times A, where n is the number of denominations and A is the target amount. So now we will proceed to algorithm simulation.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Jazreel Bob C. Batuto, and today I'm going to share to you about the greedy algorithm with an example of real-world simulation. So this is Mr. Lee. He is a programmer and has a lot of money. And this is Mr. Lee's friend named Miss Abby. Miss Abby is in need of 95 pesos, but she wants the number of coins to be minimal. So she asks Mr. Lee for help. Mr. Lee thinks what he can do for Miss Abby because he can solve this with a bunch of coins he have. But he also needs to think about the constraint that Miss Abby told him, which she needed the least possible combination of coins with a result of 95 pesos. To do so, he planned to create the list of combination with the coins he have. But he got confused, so he used his programming skills to solve real-life problems. With this, Mr. Lee came up with a program that will give him optimal number of coins that he can give to Miss Abby. This generates a program that's iterating to the different possibilities to choose the best solution. At each iteration, the program added the coin of the largest value that was not taking Mr. Lee past the amount to be given to Abby, which is the 95 pesos. For 95 pesos, the largest denomination he can give is the 50 peso. 50 pesos. Now with this, he is still short of 45 pesos. To reach the amount, the next largest coin the program can take in is a 20 pesos. But since he is still short of 25 pesos, the next highest denomination he can still accept is another 20 pesos, followed by the 5 peso coin. The best part of this program was it allowed Mr. Lee to present 95 pesos in just four coins, which is fairly incredible. The vital thing to note here is after each loop, the program makes a greedy choice, providing the coin with the highest potential value. What it means here by greedy is that locally optimal choice is picked at every step to reach the global optimum solution. So that's all. Thank you.
Good day, Sir Cliff. My name is Liromel S. Flandes, and I'm going to report or discuss the assessment test cases of the greedy approach or the greedy algorithm. So these examples demonstrate how greedy algorithm make locally optimal choices, leading to approximate but often efficient solutions. Remember that true testing and analysis are essential to ensure correctness and efficiency in real-world scenarios. So this is the test case 1, the basic case. Denominations 1, 5, 10, 25, amount 63. Expected greedy output, greedy selects the largest denomination, and so on. So dito sa test case 1 is sinelect nga yung pinaka-largest possible value sa given array. So 1, 5, 10, 25. So the largest value is 25, right? So that would be 25 plus 25. Dalawang coin yung ginamit niya dito kasi that will give us 50. So need na lang natin is the remaining amount of 13. So 13 is next largest value sa array is 10. So i-select niya yung 10 tapos i-deduct lang yung 13 minus 10. So that would give us 3 remaining amount. And finally, the to fill up the remaining amount, so we need 3 coin value pero yung value niya is 1 dapat. So tatlong 1. So that would give us 6 coins. So dalawang 25 yung ginamit. So that is 50 and isang 10 and that's it. That will give us 60, and tatlong 1, which is 3 coins yung ginamit. So the next test case is the non-canonical denominations. So ito yung yung hindi niya sinelect yung the largest possible value. Ito yung ni-reach na yung pinaka-target value, which is amount 6. So kapag gamitin kasi natin yung the largest value, hindi natin makukuha yung pinaka-optimize or global optimum niya kasi gagamit tayo ng isang 4 at dalawang 1. So that will use 3 coins instead. So instead, ginamit niya yung 2 coins kasi minimum na yung 2 coins. So dalawang 3, 3 plus 3, that will fill up the amount 6. So dalawang coin lang yung nagamit niya. Then that will give us the optimal value, no, or optimal solution. Test case 3 is the single denomination. So sa single denomination naman is wala tayong maano nito, pero kaya niya pa din i-perform, no, yung correctness and efficiency ng greedy algorithm. So isa-select niya yung 5 coin, 5 peso or 5 coin para ma-fill up yung amount na 5. So effective siya dito sa test case 3 sa single denomination, effective siya. Test case 4, pareha lang to sa test case 1, select lang yung large amount, no, sa isang array. So 275 yung targeted value. So ano yung sunod sa pinakamalaki sa 275, di ba, yung 100? So isa-select niya yung 100. Then i-deduct lang natin. So 275 minus 100 yan. So that will give us 175. So 175 yung remaining amount. Pinakamalapit niya rin is 100 pa rin. So dalawang 100 yung magagamit. So that will give us 175 plus 100 ay minus 100 na naman. So 75 na lang yung natira, yung remaining amount. So yung pinakamalapit sa 75, which is 50. 50 yung pinakamalapit. So isang 50. And that is 75 minus 50. And the remaining amount will be 25. So 25, pinakamalapit na value niya is 20. So i-deduct lang natin 25 minus 20. That will give us the remaining amount of 5 pesos. So 5 coins, so that will give us the 275 total amount or the targeted amount. So this is the expected DP output. DP solution should also yield 5 coins. So 5 coins yung nagamit natin. Dalawang 100, isang 50, isang 20, at saka isang 5. So the last test case 5, amount cannot be made. So dito na yung downside ng greedy algorithm. Kasi denominations niya dito sample 2, 5, 10. So walang hindi niya kaya i-fill up kasi wala na, sobra na. Yung targeted amount kasi is 3, di ba? So hindi naman pwede isang 2 kasi hindi niya yun ma-fill up. Tsaka ipa-plus mo ng 5, di ba? Hindi na siya kaya lesser na kasi yung value ng nasa array at naka-greater than na din. So hindi talaga pwede. So it will result to a negative 1. So negative 1 is a false, no? Yung loop, ang mabre-break lang yung loop kasi false siya. So ito yung yung hindi niya kaya, no? So amount cannot be made. So test case 5 is dito yung nag-false or hindi niya kinaya yung greedy approach. So that would be the test case 5. And thank you for listening. And there's a quote here: remember that the greedy strategy of grab the best now can lead to elegant solution, but it's essential to analyze the problem's specific requirements and constraints before applying this technique. So ayun nga, meron ding disadvantages yung greedy approach or greedy algorithm, pero marami tayong pwede magamit dito in real life, no? Madaming pwede ma-solve na problems gamit yung greedy approach, pero hindi talaga applicable lahat-lahat. Kailangan natin gamitin ito greedy algorithm based sa mga solutions na appropriate lang sa kanya. So that would be the greedy algorithm for discussions, and thank you for listening and have a good day ahead, and God bless everyone.